Okay, I'm gonna get all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honor to the elder great millstone. Salutations to all you Akim on the highways and byways, bidding to the marriage. This title is gonna be called false prophets. False teachings, teachers. I'm gonna start off with Matthew 7 and 15. Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. That's what most of these churches are nowadays. Is that when you go into them, they always need tithe, they always need money. Because they said they always be saying that the Lord will give you a blessing if you give more money. And even when I was watching this video that said that if they're homeless, you still have to give something. Like that isn't where's that in the scriptures? I'm gonna get Second Peter's. Yeah. Second Peter's 2:1. 2:1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even were all false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And people don't even call it the name of the Lord right, and they don't even try to. They, some people out there be thinking they can call him anything. Got them Christian and Catholics still call him Jesus, and in the scriptures, the Old Testament was in Hebrews. I mean not Hebrews. Hebrew. The Hebrew language. So like, how could it be in Greek if if the word was in Hebrew before it was that's confusion right there. Jesus is not his real name. Also, I'm gonna get Matthew 24 and 11. Matthew 24 and 11. And many false prophets shall rise and deceive many, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Some of these false prophets are like these homosexuals, false these Catholics. In these churches they be molesting kids. There was like 1,000, a lot of cases, and when these Catholic priests get caught, they go to another church. They transfer them to another church across the globe or across the city or state or something like that, so they can be in another church. And that's wicked. And they be molesting children. I'm gonna get Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22. 1. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and scorn of delight in their scorning? And fools hate knowledge. That's what you see most of the times when you see Jay go to these churches, and they always giving money to these wicked pastors. They use it, and they use the money. They don't even use it to divide it in the congregation. They use it for themselves. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour my spirit onto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and ye refused, I've stretched out my hand and no man regarded. They refuse to listen, and they rather go to these churches where they think they're gonna hear the word of the Lord, and they're not. They're gonna hear a whole bunch of love and every peace. We're not in that time. So I'm gonna get Jeremiah chapter 14 and 14. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 14. Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesying lies in my name, I sent them not. Who are the prophets that he sent not? You got Martin Luther King. You got what's that? I forgot that pastor that's in that Pope Francis, that child molesting Pope Francis. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them. So If he didn't command them, who was commanding them? You know, that's Esau. He's spiritual Satan. I commanded them neither, spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision, and divine divination, and a thing of naught in the seat of their heart. So that's what they're trying to do, is deceive you, is to lie to you, so you can get more money, and they can take that from you, and they always tell you to call them this number. You give $200, you'll receive a blessing. Like, it doesn't even. I don't see how people could take that serious either. Therefore, thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, I sent them not. That they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. So they always want to preach about peace. They're gonna say there's no sword or famine. Yeah, okay, and when that day comes, they're gonna be wrong, and that's gonna consume. I'm gonna go back to Matthew's. It's the one. Find them. Matthew chapter 15, verse 14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind lead the blind, they both shall fall into the ditch. So that's telling you right there that leave them alone. So they're gonna fall into it. So the follower is gonna follow the pastor into the ditch, because they refuse to listen. And in the scriptures, it tells you that the Lord is not he's not dwelling in a temple made with hands either. So where are they getting this from? Because they're not reading. They sit there, they'll listen, but they won't read for themselves what the scriptures say. It's for them to go to church is like a good feeling. They think they're doing something good, and then they go right back to what they were doing right before they even went to the church. Go right back to wickedness, So I'm gonna get Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13. First Corinthians, no, actually Salaki, 2 Corinthians, chapter 11. Chapter 11, verse 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transform themselves into apostles of Mashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed to an angel of light. So that's talking about Esau, who is Satan was talking about the so-called white man. He's trying to transform himself into an angel of light, trying to deceive the people. You got so many of these pastors in these churches molesting children, and these are the these are the people that people supposed to be looking up to, or and people they don't know that they're working for Satan on the left-hand side. I'm gonna read that again. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transform themselves into the apostles of Mashiach, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed to an angel of light. So these pastors want to collect money from you, take money from you. They're gonna say that if you give money, you'll get a blessing. They molest children. Esau's sick, and they claim that they're the real Jews too, and they be biting, they be circumcising babies with their teeth. That's homosexual, and that's and the babies gain herpes after that. Esau's sick, and I'm gonna go down to 15. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, who end shall be according to their works. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get Romans chapter 16, verse 18. Romans chapter 6. Romans chapter 16, verse 18. For they, for they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua, but their own belly, by good words and fair speeches deceive hearts of the simple. You know, that's what I was getting into at Proverbs chapter 1, verse 40. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22. How long ye simple will love simplicity. And I'm gonna read this again. Romans 16:18. For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua, but their own belly, and by the good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. So you know these good words about the Lord is coming to save everybody. You'll die, right? You everybody's gonna be saved. Everybody's gonna be drafted. You got some of these Christians believing that the rapture, the church is gonna come before the tribulation. Like that doesn't make any sense. You're not being tested for nothing. So why would the Lord deliver you out of a trouble that never even came yet? So I guess everybody's gonna be delivered, and the tribulation is gonna happen for no reason. That's basically what these Christians believe. You know, there's no order, there's no balance, there's nothing. You know, for your obedience come abroad unto all men. I'm glad, therefore, in your behalf, but yet I have you wise unto them which is good and simple concerning evil. You know, but that's about it. You know, these pastors are wicked. You know, they're not. You know, they're not. The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua is not with them. They're working on the left hand side. You know, our people need to wake up to that. You know, and be not deceived, because we're not in that time. You know, we're in a time of war, time of pestilence, diseases. You know, these giant storms are coming up. You know, there's another movie that's coming out talking about the chariots. But if I remember, I'll put in my next video. But you know, Esau's wicked. He's gonna take you for your money, and he's say you're gonna get a blessing. So I want to put this. I'm gonna finish it here. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honor to the other great millstone. Salutation to all you Akim on the highways and byways, bidding to the marriage. Till next time, say Shalom.